Hello guys, back again on my YouTube channel. In this video, Admin will be storytelling a scary movie titled The Fix that was released in 2024. So uncle and sister, this film tells the story of a model who accidentally took a mysterious drug. So he undergoes a transformation into a mutant. He also tried to find an antidote and had to deal with a dangerous gang. How the whole story? I'm curious. Let's look at the storyline. Can't speak English. Film set in the future, where in those days, dangerous chemical substance out of nowhere, carried away by the air, which causes the air to become poisonous and dangerous to mankind. All humans are required to wear masks. If you leave the house, because if you don't, people will die in 7 days. This led to a pharmaceutical company called Etera, centered in South Africa, created a drug called AI-Radimi, which claims to protect its users from the poison. But even so, apparently there is an underground movement that was formed by a gang with the aim of vehemently oppose the Etera company. The gang is led by a guy named Lazarus. On the other side, model of Etera named Ila Mixpi. Carry on the career. His mother is Via Mikpi, who died a year ago by suicide. But due to his career peaking, Ila became a gibahan among other models because it thinks career is good. Ila. This is thanks to her dead mother. In the meantime, Ila's boyfriend named Def apparently had a secret relationship with a close friend, Ila named Gina. Both intend to wait for time, appropriate to reveal their relationship to Ila. Def, who was a drug dealer, then went with Gina to a drug supply friend who is also a member of an underground gang. Arriving at the gang member headquarters, Def first watched the news with one of the members. Gina goes to the toilet for missing. Because Gina too long due to Babylon, Def went to check it. And it was at that moment, Def overheard the sound of the television in another room. The Def quietly entered the room and found two people concocting medicine. One of them blue liquid. When the two people let their guard down, Def immediately stole the blue liquid and go with Gina. Beside that, Company Etera find out about Lazarus, tried to bring down his company. They then began to monitor the headquarters of the gang, but only found Def and Gina, who just came out of the house. On the other side, Ila just got home and called by his father, who was abroad. See his son alone at home. The father then told Ela to get out and hang out with the others. As a result, Ela went to the party of young people he was reluctant to go to. When you get there, Ila accidentally caught Def, who was making out with Gina. Looking at that, Ila was furious, while Def and Gina just go. When Ila and Def bicker, Ila accidentally found a blue liquid cure left by the Def. And because he was frustrated, Ila immediately drank all the blue liquid, which he thought was a drug, shortly after drinking the blue liquid. Ella suddenly wondered. He then went to the toilet and caught a deaf friend named Boxer is cornering with a woman. See ELA twinkling. Boxer also tried to approach ELA, but instead of yes, ELA even vomited and finally passed out. Somewhere else, Atara researcher at once, son of the owner of Atara named Dr. Eric Okonor, was doing trials on a mouse. With that grandma, his assistant named Angela, tell me if you got some info. About Lazarus. In the meantime, Hila just woke up from her stupor and began to feel there are changes in his body. It turns out that what Ela drinks is Regent, which is a mixed ingredient that elicits a chemical reaction if consumed. Ela then konkom in the bathtub because her body feels as bad as... At the same time that some gang members arrived at the party, after realizing that his regent had disappeared, they came here to find Def, who stole the drug. Def immediately ran away, but he ended up cornered when he entered the bathroom, where the ELA is. Def then revealed that he was not. Know the existence of the drug because the cure had been lost. And after those members left, ELA, who was hiding in the tub, and it pops, and confessed to Def if you drink the Regent. Instead of helping ELA, Def instead chase gang members to tell their... The gang members and the Def returned to the bathroom to catch ELA, but they found no one there. As a result, it was again targeted by the gang members. Def then showed his skill in pickpocketing by taking the gun of one of the members. However, because this Def range is too close, he was easily caught and ended up getting shot in the thigh. The members then threatened to kill Def if he goes to the police. After the gangs left, Def woke up and found Ela hiding above. When the ELA tried to open the exit, that door was locked, and out of emotion, Ela also hit the door until it broke. And strangely, the ELA chemical was not hurt at all. Ella then tried to escape, but unfortunately, gang members were still waiting for him in the party room. Ela went back to the bathroom and broke through the roof to escape. But the voices produced were heard by gang members. So the ELA and the Def scrambled off through the roof. But in the middle of that run, the Def slipped and then fell to their death. Ela immediately went down to check the state of deafness. But at the same time, Gina appeared and accused ELA that he pushed Def. Even so, Ela first escaped when I saw the gang members coming. Until finally he fainted and was found by a boxer. Beside that, Gina called the police and revealed that Ela was the one who killed the Def. The police also named Ela as a suspect, which would then be done hunting. While this incident was supervised by Eric O'Connor. This is because one of the gang members, successfully modifying a drug and stealing Regent samples, which would later be used for the main ingredient. Di sini, the new one. Originally Regent, it was attracted from the dragonfly species gene, immune to all toxins in the air. In the middle of research, Atara wiped out the species because every subject, trials that consume that Regent will die, unless only ELA is still alive. Therefore, after knowing LA consumed her Regent, Eric also mobilized his men to catch ELA, and will later regulate the Regent that has been adjusted. With ELA DNA, on the other side, Boxer takes ELA to his house, but instead of waiting for ELA to come to her senses, Boxer instead sniffing Ella. Suddenly, ELA was shocked and accidentally injured the boxer with sharp claws, who suddenly appeared in ELA's elbow. Look at that thing. Bosa ran away scared. ELA chose to go to the health center, because now his body is filled with scabs. Arriving at the health center, Ela went to a staff member and told him about his illness, but the staff looked at Ela with disgust and claimed that the ELA was infected with a virus. The staff then called security to arrest. Ela didn't think long. Ela also chose to run away and hid into another patient's room. Ela took out the thorns in her hand and started creeping up the wall to avoid security. After security left, Ela decided to go to Gina's house to call for help. When you get there, Ela then used HP Gina to send a message to the deaf that are now held by gang members. And sure enough, shortly thereafter, a gang member named Solomon called. Solomon then invited Ela to meet to tell about medications that will treat ELA, but on condition that ELA must come alone. Short story. Ela then went to the designated place, being Gina watching her from a distance. But so, Ela meets the gangs. He was knocked unconscious by being kidnapped by Solomon, as well as his friend named Spider. Ela was taken to headquarters, while Gina followed him from behind by car. During ELA passed out, he was then tied to a chair. But when you wake up, Ela managed to untie her, using a thorn in his hand. After that, Ela threatened Solomon and the Spider with a knife. But before the two explained about Regent drugs, suddenly the police came to arrest ELA on suspicion of deaf murder and assault of Brian Boxer. In the meantime, Spider managed to escape with one Regent, and Solomon was also arrested for being a dealer. On the other side, Dr. Eric, who had been sending people for Dead Eyes gang members, then found out that ELA had been arrested. So he immediately met ELA. Not long, Jose. When ELA in the cell, he felt pain in his ear and found that her earlobe had fallen off. Not only that, oddly shaped earlobes also appear and makes ELA's sense of hearing sharper. Shortly thereafter, Dr. Eric suddenly came and took ELA and Solomon to Lap Itera. One, 2, 3. When you get there, Dr. Eric said that he would treat ELA by performing a series of tests, while Solomon was tortured to disclose information about the success. Formula Regent. It turns out Solomon is an ether scientist who stole the Regent formula. He joined the gang and modified the Regent, it to succeed without killing the subject. That was tested. That's why Dr. Eric want to know information about Formula, the Regent. Dr. Eric also offered cooperation to Solomon, provided he reveals his Regent formula. But without further ado, Solomon refused. What you two? For not being able to get the formula from Solomon, Dr. Eric then approached Ela and asked him to agree to do an extraction on the DNA. Ela, where later DNA Ela will be used to make medicine that can make all of humanity immune against poison, and after that, Ela will be cured as before. Because the offer is so lucrative, the ELA finally agreed to the deal. Apa? 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 Short story. While the ELA is being carried out a series of tests, Ele overheard the chatter. Dr. Eric with his father, who is the owner of Atera, where they say that Ele then did not survive in this regent extraction. Not only that, Ele's father is also looking for her. And the test was done without Ele's father's consent. Hearing that thing, Ele was raging, but the Dr. Eric immediately released anesthetic smoke to fill the ELA room, so that made Ele faint. Hey. On the other side, Spider posing as a driver to infiltrate the facility, Itera, while ELA, who was still unconscious, was taken to the operating room by 2 medics. When one of the officers was about to inject ELA, he saw that ELA's hand ties had been severed. And that's when ELA woke up and assaulted the 2 officers. Ele then fled, heading to Solomon's room on the ground. But once there was one of the security guys that came, and without a second thought, Ele also attacked the officer in a way, idolizing officers. After meeting Solomon admitted that he was with a spider, and Lazarus actually have the main goal of making effective antidote for poison, who can survive permanently. And later, the antidote they will share to every human being on Earth. Actually, Etra also serves the same purpose. Just the difference. Atera will deliver the antidote only to the chosen ones, who certainly has a lot of money. ELA and Solomon then tried escape through the airways. Medium Spider announced via Atera radio if there were multiple bombs installed at the facility to distract the officers. Because that thing, Dr. Eric also told his staff to flood. Building with poison gas? At the same time that Alan and Solomon meet the bike, the 3 then immediately tried to find a way out. In the middle of their escape, Ele then met the son of Dr. Eric named Max, who were in hiding. Out of pity, Ele took Max with her. Shortly thereafter, Ella and Max meet with Dr. Eric. Saw Eric trying to shoot. Ella released Max and jumped towards Solomon. In the meantime, Spider deliberately driving the car recklessly to distract the officers so that ELA and Solomon could escape. But in the middle of it, car lost control, so it rolled. I am life. Danar decoration. Hey, let's ELA and Solomon then reached the top of the reservoir. There Solomon told ELA to find Lazarus and gave him the last ingredient for the antitoxin so that antidote could be created for all mankind. ELA also obeyed Solomon's words and started jumping down to find a safe place. Solomon is more. Choose to be arrested by Dr. Eric's. Excuse me? A few weeks later, ELA, which has now mutated into a dragonfly, I finally found Lazarus. Is an assistant Dr. Eric, who is none other than Angela. ELA and Angela then make a deal to provide adaptive mutation options for anyone who want to live and is immune to poison. And the movie ended. Okay guys, that's the storyline of the Fix
hope
movie.
you
are entertained by the storyline that I bring you. Sorry if there was an error in the delivery or the mention of names. See you guys in the next video.